Hi, everybody. Welcome to our book club discussion for this time. I feel like it's a two rounds of Pride Month because we're discussing Futbolista, which is a very queer book. And then in June, we're reading more queer books. It's going to be an amazing time. Amazing
Yay!
time. So, thank you for joining us for the Annotation Station's discussion of Futbolista by Jonny Garza Villa.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited. I
Yes.
love this book so much, and it's so beautiful.
You're so
You
cute.
highlighting that part of the artwork has me wanting to roast your ass already.
It's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead. I was a dingus.
Because in this book, we follow two Mexican American queer boys. One of them is a bisexual um, character, and the other one is gay. And while reading this, Steph was convinced that the love interest was white.
I didn't
She was
realize.
convinced, even though they are both very clearly very brown on the cover.
Okay. In my defense, I read the arc. I didn't have this until after, but also I'm an idiot. So
But also, literally, the love interest name is Valerio. Valerio.
I forgot. All I remember was him making Italian food, and I was like, "Is he white?"
Listen,
Don't
messy.
listen to me.
Steph was messy with this one. But it's okay. It's okay. As for the actual premise of this, because we haven't talked about it, we follow Gabi, who has just started college, and he's so sure that he knows everything about himself. There's nothing new to learn. He has everything figured out. But he has to take a philosophy class that forces him to consider, does he actually know everything he thinks he does about himself? Really? And so as the title suggests, he is a football soccer player. And so we follow him as part of his coming of age story, discovering a new part of himself, which is his bisexual identity. He starts this book being like, "Oh, I'm straight. I'm so straight. Everything about me is straight. I'm just a straight ally who loves football. Aren't I amazing? And I know everything about myself. There's nothing new to discover here. There's
At
plenty."
what, 1920?
He's literally like
A
18, 19.
baby.
Yeah, he's a freshman in college. And he's so sure he knows everything about himself.
What you said throughout the entire time we were reading this, I think perfectly wraps this up. You were like, the closet is made of glass.
The closet is made of glass. This man has never had a straight thought in his life.
No.
Not a one. Not a one.
But we see you, baby. It's okay.
Yeah. Yes, we do. Now let's say a hi to the people in the chat.
Hey.
Hi. Howell is in the trenches, has not been able to read it.
Oh,
It hasn't come out in paperback. Apparently it comes out the 19th.
you're gonna love it.
But I'm sure you're gonna love it, Howell.
Mhm,
I'm sure
mhm.
you're gonna love it.
You are.
It's so gay, dumbass, bisexual energy off
Yes.
the charts. Just during
Himbo, dingus. Yes.
yes, yes. And I know, Damien, I know you've been waiting for this discussion to finally happen because at long last, our resident hater, one of our book club picks. So hey, a
A
win,
win.
win.
Yes.
We must love the mass gay energy always.
Yes. Yes.
Always.
It was so freaking cute.
yeah.
Ugh.
So, do we want to talk ratings before we get started? Non-spoilery. Spoiler.
Yeah, sure. Do you want to go first?
Sure, I can go first. I give it 4.5 stars. I had my little tiny qualms of why it couldn't be 5 stars as someone who's a hardcore Jonny Garza Villa lover. Like this is this is an author I champion all the time. I'm like, if I have an author, I'm like, read it, read it, read it.
Yes.
Jonny Garza Villa. I'm always trying to get the people to read Jonny Garza Villa because their work is amazing.
Can I tell a story time about when you took me to meet Jonny Garza Villa?
Yes, you can.
Okay, great. Y'all sit down for this one, okay? I had no idea who Jonny Garza Villa was. I was visiting Natalie in Chicago, and Natalie planned for us to go to this author talk. So we went. When I tell you that she had a stack of books in her bag, we went there. We sat in the front row. First of all, the amount of people that were there,
sad.
Disgrace.
I was heartbroken.
Yes.
I was heartbroken that we were maybe like 6 people there.
Yes.
Maybe.
Which means we got all of their attention. But still, they deserve a crowd, right?
Yeah.
So like the way that when it was time for the book signing, Natalie went shloop douche. Can you sign all of these and I love you?
I was like, listen, they're gonna leave here at least knowing there's one hardcore fan of theirs in the city of Chicago.
Yes.
I have my stack of books. I love their work. I have all of their books, special editions as well. I'm like, Jonny, I love you.
Yes. And the poor other author that they were in conversation with, which we had never heard of, I think, or read.
I had heard of their work before, but I hadn't actually read any.
Yeah. Natalie was like, hi, you're nice, but I'm here for Jonny.
I'm like, lovely person. You're wonderful, Jonny.
Yes. We also did, because we didn't want them to feel disrespected. We watched and made sure other people bought their books, because if no one else was going to buy, we were going to buy and support. But people did. So we were like, all right, cool. We can go home now.
One of my indie bookstores that I loved was closing, and they had one of their books for sale. And I was like, I'm taking this home with me. Okay, this is now going to be part of my collection. So, you know. I would have done it as well. I mean, listen, Damien, when I tell you have to read all of Jonny's backlist, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Get on it. Get with the program. They are all wonderful.
Yeah.
I still need to get stuff to read. Ander and Santi, because that's my 5-star. My Jonny Garza Villa, that's a 5-star. I love it, adore it. Everything about it is perfect.
Well, me and Damien are gonna buddy read it at some point. So
y'all both need to get it together and actually read it. But anyway,
back to Futbolista.
You rated stuff.
I gave it 4.5 as well. I gave it 4.5. I had a great time. Like, I am that bitch that is very specific with my ratings. Okay. Even if I love something and it's a 5-star in my heart, I might be like, 4.75 though. So because of blah, 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 blah. So I have one little thing in here that I just really feel like I wanted more of. But honestly, in the grand scheme of things, whatever. It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So Damien's like, I added something.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Was one of them Canto Contigo?
Canto Contigo is lovely. It's so lovely. They're all great. Damien, you will not go wrong with any of them, but regardless.
Amazing.
So what do we want to talk about that's non-spoilery to start us off?
Non-spoilery. Okay. This book is spicy because it's a new adult. And it's spicier than all of their other books. So if anyone here has read Jonny Garza Villa's other books, be prepared for the spice level to increase by like 5 or 10.
Yeah. No, 100%, because their previous work is all YA. And they're very much not playing into trying to make that spicy for anybody. But as their first new adult novel, they were like, oh no, get ready. This is gonna have some spice in there. And is our main character horny on main beginning to end? Yes, he is. Yes.
A 19-year-old college boy. What do you think he wants to do all the time?
Literally.
Yes.
It honestly, part of it to me, funny.
It's hilarious. Yes.
He is so down bad for Val in a way that is hilarious because he's so oblivious about his own queerness that he's like, all straight guys look at other guys and think, look at that ass shaking. It's beautiful.
Yeah. He's like, this is normal. Everyone thinks like that, right?
Yeah. All straight guys maybe daydream about, going to Pound Town with another guy. That's normal. That's normal. Who wouldn't? And it's like, a straight man. That's who wouldn't. That's who wouldn't think that. Okay.
It was good.
A nice surprise. I didn't expect it at all. It was so fucking
It was good. It was good. Yeah.
I'm like, nice.
Slay.
Nice. So the weird part for me was starting the book. And actually, I feel like this is important. Like, even though the central love story is with Val, the first love interest in this book is a young woman, another like person at the college, and we spend a good amount of time actually with his feelings towards her, how that's complicated because she and Val are actually best friends. So I feel like that's an important dynamic of it that isn't necessarily often in the promo of it or whatnot, but it's like you go in and truly he is a bisexual disaster. Gabby is a bisexual disaster through and through. And it's not just like, this is just a man who loves men. And like, no, his bisexual identity is vital to everything that happens in the book. 18.
There's a lot of people when they were 18, honestly.
Yeah. What the little naive thing Beth didn't know was that everyone, in fact, did not feel this way. Literally, he embodies that.
Yeah.
He's just like, everyone feels like this, right? No, sir. No, they don't.
Pobrecito. Yeah, and then it's also like very unapologetically Hispanic Mexican.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit of what I loved about it is family dynamic is also important here. His relationship with his parents, his relationship with his community, and I think what it means for him to be, don't ask me about the football organization acronym ranking, college rankings. I don't know what it's called. I don't know about those things. But him being in like the top college players in like the country, having a spotlight on him, like the pressures of being someone who your community looks up to, but also recognizing that a lot of traditional Hispanic families are very homophobic. And so the fear is very real.
Yeah, like a significant topic of the book is both the homophobia, often very prevalent in Hispanic communities, but also in sports. It's inherently tied to the main problems, conflicts of the novel, his fear of navigating both those spaces with the uncertainty of like, will my community, like both these communities, actually have my back, or will they turn on me because of this, despite my talent, despite how I've proven that I'm an incredible player and I care about my community, my people. Would just this one thing mean that I get forsaken by this community these communities that I care so deeply about?
And I want to say to that, like, I feel like it's very important to note that it's not saying that the identity and what the person does off of the court isn't important or doesn't matter. It actually very much matters that he's queer identifying, because that is opening a place for people to say, no matter who you are, you can play football. But him being someone who the other, people could maybe potentially look up to is very important. So I just want to make sure that it's clear that like a rhetoric of, well, this is why what people do outside of their profession, or like goes back to the conversation of who the author is outside of the writing doesn't matter. Like, no, it does very much matter. Even though I think this could lead into a conversation of a misconstrued of like, well, it shouldn't matter who they are, but it does, because who they are represents their community. And yes, he shouldn't be put on this like pedestal. You know, he's still a human, but he represents something to somebody.
Yeah. And it's this idea, because these spaces are very queerphobic, that unfortunately it necessitates people being willing to represent all facets of their identity, to be able to say, I can be both these things at the same time, and this is a good thing. And I want to make sure that others like me can see that this is possible, can see that change is possible, even in these deeply flawed spaces, that you don't have to sacrifice a part of yourself in order to follow a passion that you have.
100%. 100%. Are there any other non-spoilery things that we can say or want to say?
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
I don't think so. Not for me anyway.
Yeah, I think most of my thoughts are spoilery.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to go into spoilers.
Let's do it. Let's go spoilers.
Cool. Do you have anything you want to talk about first?
You can take the wheel.
Okay. So even though Gabi is a himbo, I love his confidence and the way that he approaches Vale in the beginning of like when they first meet. Oh, I don't mind spoilers because it's gay. Which is like when they first meet, it's at a party and Vale comes up to them because they're dared to through a drinking game, or they want to get out of the drinking game, and they were dared to make out with someone. And so Vale comes up to him and he's just like, yeah, let's do it. You know, so his like nonchalantness, which in a way stems from his ignorance about himself. Yeah. It's still very like refreshing for me to see that and like immediately embraceness instead of starting from a place of fear.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it does come from like already he had this perspective of himself of like, I'm a straight ally. It doesn't matter if I kiss this guy. Like that doesn't diminish my own masculinity, my own sense of self. I'm comfortable enough with myself to do this. I mean, of course, we later learn like part of that comfortability is precisely that he is queer, he is bisexual. And so he also doesn't mind because he is in fact attracted to the same sex. So obviously he's not gonna have that dislike, but it also like a straight person doesn't also have to be like, ew, gross, of course I wouldn't kiss you, that's disgusting, I'm straight. Like that's also not necessary.
Yeah,
it's not that deep. It's not that deep.
It really isn't. Yeah. So I feel like his just whole demeanor was very refreshing for me.
Yeah. To me it felt very familiar in many ways because I've read so many books with bisexual disaster main characters that I just had so much fun following him progressively becoming more and more interested in Val and being like, but I'm straight. Don't you love being straight? Meanwhile, every single thought in his head is becoming more and more consumed by Val, and it's like, bro, those are not heterosexual thoughts. I mean, it makes me think of the time that he accidentally sends spicy pictures to Val, and he's like, oh, he could keep them.
Yeah.
And later on purpose, sends him spicy pictures, and it's like, but you're straight.
Sure.
You're straight, you're just a homeboy, you know,
Just
supporting your fellow homeboy, giving him
right.
stuff to jerk off to, you know. You just support your bros like that.
Yeah. You
You're
know,
just a bro supporting his bro.
you just jerking the gurk to your girlfriend's bestie, guy bestie. Yeah, totally straight. It's fine.
Yeah, you
Totally
know,
fine.
normal.
So a mess. Oh my god, it's been like so long since we read this. Oh.
Gabby was like, "Of course I'm mad, Gabby. I mean,
Should we
about
vow? Yeah.
hitting someone. I mean, what if the guy isn't good enough for him? I'm just looking out for my friend."
Yeah.
It's giving jealousy. It's
Yes,
giving
it
jealousy.
is giving
I
jealous.
do not want anyone to be anywhere near my man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what it was giving.
Yes.
Feel like, okay, mentioning though the aspect of the relationship he was in. What was her name again? Um,
I
remember. It's like
don't know if I can find it. I don't remember her name.
Eliana or something like
Something
that.
like that. Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I personally was uncomfortable to start with when he starts getting like very close to um Val,
Mm-hmm.
and he's still in this relationship with his best friend. That to me was uncomfortable. Like, I understand that it's all part of the messy journey that he's in, trying to figure out himself. But I was
Mm-hmm.
like, ugh, I wouldn't want to be a part of that, Frank.
Yeah.
I'm like, that just sounds so messy and unpleasant.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
don't think she was she wasn't mean to him at all in this book, was she? I don't think so.
no,
No.
she was pretty. I mean, a large part of what helped is that ultimately he wasn't taking the relationship super seriously.
Yeah.
She liked him, and it was clear to her though that he was interested in that being serious,
Mm-hmm.
because that's also part of his character. Like, Gabi is not interested necessarily in being with someone, spending time with them without it being conducive to a relationship, like a serious where it's just you and me in this relationship, we're committed to each other. But she wasn't necessarily as interested in that. And so I think for her journey, part of it was like, well, I'm more interested right now in developing these other kinds of relationships, because she was like joining a sorority or whatever, was interested in joining that. And what she really wanted was to foster those relationships. And she's like, I'm just gonna let you go because I can't actually give you what I know you want.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that allows space for his relationship with Vale to develop. Um, and it takes a while. Like, the
Yeah.
interest is there from the beginning, but them actually doing something about anything takes a long time.
Yeah.
Uh,
So if anything, I actually kind of feel for Leanna in the part where he's with her, but she starts to see that he's checking out her best friend. Like, I kind of feel for her in that way,
yeah.
but she is mature enough eventually to be like, it's okay. It's okay. Just
Yeah.
go be gay. It's fine.
Yeah, like, one would expect there to be more drama built in, but Johnny was like, "No, we're not doing that shit."
Yeah.
Where that's not the point of this story, which I think is in general something that they tend to do. Like, they don't fabricate drama for the sake of
Mm-hmm.
drama. All the problems are usually very realistic things that can happen in life. That's just like the messiness of being a human. Not It's not written in a way to be like, this is for people to be entertained and to be all just that. It's not written from that lens, I
Yeah.
feel like.
Speaking of drama, okay, I feel like this might be a good time to get my one little gripe out of the way. My one little thing. Okay. It's not a huge thing. I don't think it's a reason to not read the book. It's a great book. Just the one thing I wanted more of is I feel like I wanted more drama at the climax of the conflict that was in this, which is, what's his name? Was it Perez? No,
No,
it was, what was his name?
Perez,
No, Perez was the
el
friend.
amor de mi vida.
Starts
That's
with a
my
B.
favorite.
What's his name?
Barrera.
Barrera. Yes, that was it. Sorry. Again, it's been like a month and a half. I don't remember names.
Perez, I love him. He's
Perez
big.
was one of his friends. Yes. Barrera was he the captain of the team?
Barrera was the captain, yes.
Was the
correct.
captain. Okay, see how I'm forgetting things. Was the captain of the football team and was very openly homophobic. Was not even microaggressions, was just being aggressive in their tonality, in their language, in the way that they asserted dominance in the team, and like tried to use a toxic positivity to make it sound like it was all about the benefit of the team, but really it's just that he is queerphobic AF, right? And so when we eventually get to the climax of him being confronted about his queer phobia and leaving the team, but also semi being kicked off the team because the coach finds out or overhears the conversation, I think in the locker room, right? Or wherever it was.
Yeah, it was in the locker room that everything went down.
Yeah. Like the way it was quickly wrapped up of him just kind of walking away, I wanted that to be a little bit more dramatic. That's just me. Because I feel like I was waiting for him to get his comeuppance. You know, I was like, somebody punch him in the face, somebody take him out, or
No,
even if not that.
Speaking of that, like Perez was actually ready to throw hands. He was like, I'm ready to fight this bitch.
Yes, I wanted to see it.
Nonsense. And that's why Perez, I'm part of the Perez fan club, #1 fan club member. I adore him because he's a ride or die for Gabi. Ride or die, obsessed with him. Damien says, I love that the ending was not so dramatic because it's kind of realistic. You know, we have a big, loud, homophobic Pillock, and then a decent person comes in and kicks him the hell out.
Well, see, even in that, I feel like
Perez to punch as well.
I still feel like it could have been realistic with the coach going off on him. I feel like the coach was a little too nice in the way that he kicked him out. Because if it was me, when I'm telling you, listen, I'm going to be so honest. When I hear homophobia come out of my students' mouths, I don't take that quietly. I'm like, no, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk, and I'm going to tell you how you're wrong. And I'm going to tell you loudly how you're wrong. Like, I'm not yelling at them and screaming at them, but I'm also not just like, you know, you should leave, you know, like, I'm like, no, that's a hard no, you know, like I wanted a little bit more of him standing firm and being like, not only are you not going to do this here, but I need you to know that you're not coming back here. You're not welcome here with that energy. And wherever you go, I'm going to make sure that you know that you're not welcome here. Like,
I mean, I think part of it was like already somewhat built into the character. Like, it was never going to be super dramatic because to begin with, the coach actually warns Gabi a few times, like, hey, let me know if anything comes up with Barrera. You know, you can talk to me. But it's like, if you're already warning one of your players about this, that means you know there's a problem. There's an existing problem that you are not addressing. And I feel like he simply waited for it to become such a big problem that it could no longer be ignored. And he was just waiting for that to happen versus being more proactive about the safety of all his players versus like, well, if in essence, like, well, if they can tolerate some of it, then it's fine. So that's why I was never really expecting the coach to do like a big thing about it.
Yeah.
And if anything, if I wanted something actually big, it was I believe in groveling. I believe in groveling, and Gabi did not grovel enough. Vale was always the one being like, you have to do this. You should stand up and be someone for our people to look up to. And it is possible to do both things. You don't have to sacrifice some part of yourself. And Gabi has multiple opportunities to stand on business and he does it. And
Mhm.
Vale always gives him grace, which is beautiful. Like that's a beautiful thing about Vale's character. But it means that ultimately by the end, he's honestly wronged several times by Gabi in a completely understandable way. Like it's understandable why Gabi does the things that he does. Um, but it means that I'm left with like Vale deserved more from
Mhm.
Gabi, and we just got like ultimately it's always Vale taking the first step, being the first one to be like, okay, I forgive you. Okay, we'll move on from this thing.
Mhm.
Because even by the end, Gabby's finally like ready to basically do the dramatic. I'm running to find Vale to talk to him, whatever. And then Vale actually shows up in his apartment, in his
Mhm.
room. And it's like, this is not satisfying. This is not satisfying. It should be Gabi running to him. It should
Yes.
be the other way around.
Yes, I wanted to see Gabi outside of Vale's window with a boombox being like, I love you, babe, come back. And I'm like,
Yes.
that, and flowers, like, give me something, give me a big romantic gesture to say, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Violet deserved more. He was so precious and
Yes.
Gabby
Uh,
was such a dingus.
yes.
And I couldn't take it. And like it's also something as someone who reads a lot of romance that I'm like, I expect it as well. I'm like, I'm okay with even if it's the main character or the love interest making mistakes that they
Mhm.
have to rectify, like that's fine. But I'm like, but give me the satisfaction.
Mhm.
Give the people what they want. It's like it shouldn't just be like Val is just the bigger person. I'm like, no, give him his flowers. Give him
Yes.
his I'm sorry, baby. I love you so much, baby. I shouldn't have done that, baby. All of it. And then we can all be a big happy family.
Yep.
Um
100%. So those are the small gripes. Like
Yeah, those
again,
are
not
small
not big.
gripes. That's why neither of us was like, we could just give this 5 stars. We loved it. It was perfect, amazing. Um, you know,
But yeah. So anyways,
beyond that, we loved it. We loved
amazing,
it.
amazing. Okay, can we talk about Gabi's relationship with his dad?
Girl,
I was in tears. I was
listen, that's the one thing with Johnny Garza Villa. They are always gonna pull at your heartstrings. And here it was the relationship between Gabi and his daddy, and I couldn't take it.
yes,
I was like, my poor, weak little heart.
yes,
Yes, the
yes.
tears, the tears.
Mm-mm.
The two of them love each other so much. Like, literally, Gabby is a daddy's boy. He's a
Yes.
daddy's boy from the beginning. Like, you learn that early on with a story that his dad loved to share that when he was a little kid and he first had to go to like kindergarten or wherever it was, he was literally crying and was like, no, I don't want you to leave, I want you to be here. Like, that's his safe person. That's who he truly feels cared for. And he was terrified of losing that relationship because it's so meaningful to him. um so the whole journey of it, like I knew in my heart and soul that his dad was gonna be there for him, was actually going to love and support him regardless. And this is not because this is something that Johnny always does in their books. Like that's not necessarily the thing they always represent. But I was like, his daddy loves him so much, that's so clear.
Mm-hmm.
That of course ultimately he was gonna be like, you're my son, I love you no matter what. But yes, like
Yes.
this, and this is so important. Like, people who become parents should be because they want to be parents to, no matter what, like their kid, it's love them regardless, no
Yeah.
matter what they turn out to be.
Mm-hmm.
Having very strict expectations of who your child is, what your child can do for you is part of honestly why so many people have such difficult relationships with their parents, because their parents have kids to fulfill dreams for their own lives, when it should be simply that you want to love and care for another human being. You shouldn't be pitting all your everything onto this other person that has their own will, dreams, etc.
100%. 100%. It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous to see. I was crying.
No, here. Here, I was like, oh, they got me. Johnny got me. Like they always do. Like I don't think there's been a singular one of their books that I haven't been like, oh my God, my heart.
Yeah.
My heart.
Very much. Very much. So that's lovely. Something that they do so well.
Yeah.
And even though like I will say there was a little bit of realistic tension between Gabi and his dad, because his dad at some points did, spout a little bit of homophobic / hyper conservative rhetoric that gave him a reason for pause. It gave him a reason to be like, oh snap, am I gonna lose my family if I'm honest about who I am? So it was important that Gabi come to the decision of, trusting that his family will have his back, but also realizing that who he is more important, because he has to live his life for himself, not for his family. That makes that so much more impactful when he does tell his dad.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of ride or dies, we got Perez, we got Kat, I think.
Yes, Kat.
Was their name? Yep. Amazing.
Listen, this is like the first Jonny Garza Villa book where my favorite characters were the side characters. The way I loved Perez and Kat with all my heart and soul, they just completely won me over. I'm like, this is the kind of bestie energy I love and adore. Because Kat was like the queer friend in Gabi's corner that was like, listen, I'm here for you basically when you're ready. You can talk to me. Like, you don't have to feel like you're alone in this. And for a while, like, Gabi was so deep in his denial, he couldn't really accept that and see the value of that space. But Kat was a real one. Kat, amazing. The kind of queer friend you like hope everyone going through the experience of like being lost, being confused, has someone there that is ready and willing to support them. Yes, and Perez was just like, homie, I love you no matter what, period. He's like, I'm not part of the community, but I love you exactly as you are. He's like, I love Perez.
Yes.
He's so feral and wholesome, and it's great.
Yes.
Yes. He was like, at long last, okay, it's out.
Yes.
Cards are on the table. Right?
Literally, Perez and Kat are looking at Gabi through the glass closet and being like, knock, knock, you ready?
Yes. No. And all of Gabi's friends basically end up being like, go get it, boy. Yes. Get that ass.
I love it.
We support you.
Love it. Love it. So cute. It was so cute. I love them. Yes. But yeah, Vale, like, slowly coming around, being part of the friend group. Listen, okay, why is this thought stuck in my head? I guess I gotta get it out. I don't know why it's in the back of my head, but I'm like, listen, hyper masculinity is gay AF. That's my thought. All right. All these overcompensating hyper masculine football players, and just like in general, like, being homophobic is gay. Because why are you so obsessed with other people's lives? Like, just fine. Just say it.
Literally, why is this taking up every single thought in your brain?
Yes.
It's less gay to be gay.
Yes.
What you're doing is more gay. I know, Howell. Yes.
Yes.
It is. It's like, why are you so obsessed with this? People who are normal are just living their lives. They don't care.
Right.
And literally, you do not care this deeply. Again, Gay people should be gayer than you.
Yes. Why are you more gay than the gay people in the room? Why are you obsessed? Why are you so
Okay,
obsessed
well, in
with
that
me?
case, and it's also like, okay, like let's be real. Like when you look at a lot, especially futbolistas, you see how they interact, they cheer for each other, they care for one another. It's like, bros, how are you gonna be this homophobic when you want to embrace your fellow teammate with everything in your heart and chest? I'm like,
Yes.
pictures of y'all are gayer than gay people
Right.
sometimes.
Pick
I'm
a
like,
struggle.
hello?
Right.
Yes. Yes. Big muscles are gay.
Yes. Very much
It's
so.
like, come on. How are you going to buy into this whole thing of like the toxicity of it all? When
Mhm.
it's like, if you just let that shit go, you could embrace your bro actually and be happy and comfortable in your masculinity and your bro's masculinity. That's beautiful.
Yes, it is beautiful.
That's beautiful.
100%.
Gay.
So yeah, I just need to get that thought out.
The thighs and the muscles.
Yes. Have you seen a rugby match?
Yes. Gay. It's like, come on,
Yes.
let it go. Like it doesn't have to be gay derogatory.
Yes.
It's okay to embrace your homie. There's nothing wrong
Yes.
with that.
Yes. We gotta get that shirt from that one artist I love for Magic that says "Kiss your homies on the mouth."
Yes.
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 You know?
But yeah, okay, I had to get that thought out. Sorry.
No, it's serious. It's
Mhm.
serious.
Yes. So just saying.
I'm like,
Amazing. Okay, what else do we want to say? Oh, listen. You know what's a moment that really got me sweating? When they went, I think it was a costume party.
uh-huh.
And I think, Gabi was still in denial at this
Yes.
point. It was
He
somewhere in
was
the middle.
still in the closet made of glass.
I was like, honey boo boo, you are in a matching costume, which could also be very slutty.
Yeah.
With your bestie.
Not could be. It was.
It's slutty.
Both of them were in
He was
slutty
like,
matching costumes.
I forget who was the angel and who was the demon. I don't remember. It was giving role play.
Vale maybe was the angel, because I feel like Damien left some comments in the chat that was like, should have been wearing the demon outfit. I could
something
be
like that.
I can't remember anymore. Yes.
It's like, yeah, and then they start dancing, which was really cute. Like they start dancing in the middle of the party, and they kind of Vale knows exactly where he is.
Yes.
Gabi's the one who forgets where he is, and it gets worried because he I think Barrera sees him, and it like becomes a whole thing. But I was like, honey boo boo, that is not a straight thought. Straight men don't think about grinding up on their angel dressed slutty besties. Okay.
No, they don't. But yes, honestly, yeah, Vale is both an angel and a demon.
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, yeah.
Like,
No, listen, Vale is a demon, but with the patience of a saint, because
yes,
with Gabi's nonsense, it's like, bruh,
yeah, for real. Patience is the virtue. No. Listen, how mad I was at the little third act breakup when Gabi was like, I mean, yes, I agree he needs time to process. Like, it's okay to take time, be like, listen, I just need a little break. But he was trying to play the whole cold shoulder, we're not talking to each other in philosophy class anymore. I'm like, shut up.
I know.
You love him.
I was so annoyed. I was like, I know this is inevitable. It's going to happen because this is a romance book, and more likely than not, there's going to be a third act breakup. That's just how the cookie crumbles. But I was like, oh my God, bro. Get it together. You love this guy loves you. Come on, you do not have to sacrifice
Yes.
either one of the things. That doesn't
Yes.
have to be the
Literally.
situation.
Also, I did enjoy Gabi's little character arc growth in philosophy class.
Yes, that was cute. Actually, I was thinking of before we started the discussion about your reactions to the conversations and topics in the philosophy class.
Remind me, because I forget what I say.
One of the things is one of the philosophical situations is like they're all in the dark, chained to each other, and people are walking by, whatever, and it's about like feces. Where does the feces go? How are they doing? I remember this, and you were like, "These are the questions I have." Gabi's asking the questions I have about these philosophical situations. And like, okay, but how does this work? How does this other thing work? And I'm sitting here, and I'm valid being like, bruh,
I don't remember any of this.
thinking about these things. Are they standing in their own pee and poo? I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about a philosophical hypothetical.
Oh, because it was Plato's cave, wasn't it? I think that's what they were talking about. I don't remember, but I believe you. I believe you that I believe you that these are listen. Time blindness and ADHD is real. I don't remember half the things I say. What I have for breakfast.
Ma'am.
Oh no, Lawrence made me breakfast. That's why I don't remember, because I didn't make it. See? I'm telling you, you can tell me secrets because I'll forget you ever told me them.
Oh, I know. I know. This is something I actually hold over you. I was like, it's not against you. I hold over you. I'm like, she's going to forget.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can do evil machinations because she's going to forget.
Yeah. It's horrible. I promise you, everybody, it's not that I don't care. I care. I just can't remember shit. Because Natalie will tell me things all the time and I'll be like, that's great. And then eventually she'll be like, I'm doing this thing today. And I'm like, you are? Like, as if it's the first time she's telling you this.
No, meanwhile, I'll forget when something is going to happen. So I'll remember that Steph told me, oh, I'm going to do this thing, this and that. And then I was like, and then I'll reach out to her and she's like, oh, I'm busy doing this. And I'm like, oh, right, that's today. That's where my blindness comes in. Do I remember that she told me she was going to do the thing? Yes. Yes. This is the problem I always have. I want to call her every day. And then it's like, wait, she has game club today. Half the time I forget because I'm like, time is a construct.
Yes. Can you tell who has the brain cells in this friendship? It's not me. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So yes, what she said is true.
I know.
Even though I don't remember any of it, I believe it.
I know I am correct.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Do we have anything else that we want to say?
I think that's everything.
I think so.
I don't know that I have anything else to add.
All right, cool. Well, we actually do have a live stream in 10 minutes.
Yes, and we'll talk about the picks for June because we haven't talked about it here.
Compound fracture
is our fiction pick.
Fiction pick
for June. So excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot wait.
And then our nonfiction pick is So Many Stars, an oral history. Of trans, non-binary, genderqueer, and two-spirit people of color by Caro de Robertis. Both of these authors are trans mask.
So, yeah, incredible. But yeah, we hope to see you during the productivity sprints.
Yeah,
that'll be fun. I wasn't been able to do it last week. Sadness.
Well, you're feeling better now.
But I'm feeling better now. So I'm excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
See you all there.
See you on my channel. Bye.
Bye.